So this is the pound yen analysis for Thursday the 12th of October. Now, what have we seen? So here on the 9th, we've come all the way down to support. We've briefly broke it at 147.35, and prices were brought back up to the next area of possible resistance, which acts as support at 148.46. 148.46 being the, on the higher time frames, the height of the previous range before we broke out to the upside in September. Now we have sold off quite a bit from 151.25 if I remember correctly. I'll be looking at that on the higher time frames. We did retrace quite a bit, but we have found support and prices are being brought back up. So this is what I've mentioned in a previous video, and I've mentioned it in analysis of pairs. When a level, whether it is our horizontal support or horizontal resistance, once it is tested quite a few times, it usually breaks. And I'll just repeat myself again. Usually what happens is you might have initially some sellers there. Now, if the prices does not reverse from where the sellers have come into the market and sold off, it might just be buyers taking profits. If it does not sell off and go all the way down to the next level of support, and it pulls back a little bit, goes on tests, sell off again, pulls back, tests. Usually it breaks to whatever direction, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. It usually breaks because whoever's hanging around in that area to sell the market, eventually they give up when buyers keep buying the market back up. And the same when there's sellers in the market, if buyers keep buying, then eventually they'll just give up. So it's pretty much the same that's happened here. We had several tests of that level at 148.46, and eventually, as you can see, we did break to the upside, as it appears that the bears have stepped out of the market. Now, as prices have broken out to the upside, let's just see where we are. The 6th is 147.35. Yes. Let's just have a look here. I'm just gonna have a little check of something. The 8th, 147.35. Yep. So we're above the weekly pivot. This week we're using a weekly pivot of 147.35, and we're quite a bit above it, and which is bullish. Now we are coming into this 200-period moving average. We're waiting to see how prices react to it. What looks likely at the moment with these smaller candles, we've not immediately reversed from this 200-period moving average, which I'd say is somewhat bullish. So we might have a bit of a bull flag form before a break and a continuation all the way up to 49.78. Now, if this 200-period moving average proves problematic, we might break down to, say, 148.46 before we find support there and a break of the 200-period moving average for a move up to 149.48. Now, if we do break down from 148.46, I do not expect it to. We've obviously got the 20 and 50-period moving average beneath, and we have this, you could say, where we have 147.90, where we did have some buying come back into the market after reacting to this area of resistance at 148.46. That could potentially be a bouncing spot, but it will be very minor. I tend not to like taking these on the hourly time frame where prices have been brought back up. I much prefer dailies, weeklies, and monthlies. So it's just an area to consider, but ultimately 147.35 if we cannot hold. But I am expecting it to hold. So to the upside, I'll be looking at 149.80, and above that 150. As this is a nice big round number, and we've also got this high time for moving average seen around there. Above which you can pretty much see levels for yourself on the charts: 150.56 and 151.25. So overall, I am bullish the pound against Japanese yen. I'm just waiting to see how prices seeing how far prices retrace from this 200-period moving average before a break to the upside or a subsequent breakdown, which is unlikely. I'm just going to go out to the higher time frames just to do a bit more analysis. Let's go to the monthly first, and let's just see how prices are. So, as you can be seen here, we've had this large bullish candle in November, which is symptomatic of the US presidential election coming to a head. Now, we did go into a bit of a range here, as can be seen by these green and red candles. We have broken out of the range in September. We did sell off from the candles highs, and the month of October is currently bearish so far. But on the lower time frames, we are long biased, and on the higher time frames we are long biased as well, on the monthly, weekly and daily. But at the moment prices are in bearish territory as we are trading below the month's pivot. So if I go down to the weekly time frame just to have a look at where prices are, pound yen price on the weekly time frame, it doesn't get you very enthusiastic about how prices are developing. We've not had this range here is more prominent, can be seen here on the weekly chart, and again on the daily charts it could probably even better. Prices, thing about it is we've had these heavy retracements, which I'm not a fan of. I like to see trends which are quite prominent. Seeing consolidation ranges and heavy retracements doesn't make me very enthusiastic about the momentum and continuation of prices. Luckily enough, the ATR, the average true range on the pound against the yen, is pretty high, so there is a possibility to make pretty sizable pips, provided you do time your entries correctly in terms of, and you do choose the correct time frame. So on this weekly, so it's a similar story to a lot of pound pairs. We've had a lot of heavy selling last week, and all the way down into an area of support, and we have been bought back up. So currently, so far this week, we're in a bullish territory, and it does appear that the bears have somewhat deserted the selling for now anyway. And with the thing about the pound pairs, we have to be aware of Brexit negotiations currently taking place between Britain and the EU. News in relation to that can have some wild swings, particularly if it's very important news. So you can't throw your analysis up into the air, but it doesn't mean we're not going to come here and we're not going to do the analysis regardless, because I suppose we can't know everything fundamental, because there was always unexpected news releases and so on. So we just analyze the markets. We say where we expect markets to go and see how the markets play out. More often than not, there aren't unscheduled fundamental news releases, and prices do adhere to the analysis. So on the daily time frame, that's enough of that. So on the daily time frame, what can we see here? We've had our low over here. We've had a higher low, slightly higher low again, and again we are putting in. It does appear we're putting in another higher low. So we did have a pullback all the way down to where we've got the resistance here, as can be seen at around 147 level, and we have bounced off it. So we've had 3 consecutive days of bullish price action. Wednesday's candle we did push down, but we did close near its highs. So the bears definitely tried to what would you say? The bears definitely tried their luck. They did try to push prices down, but they're currently overpowered by the bulls at present. So, yep, that's supportive of a further continuation of bullish price action in the pound against the Japanese yen. So that should wrap it up. So before I go, LCS, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.